I'm going to give y'all a little bit of game today just because I'm feeling nice. Side hustles are cool, but you have to have a I don't want to give y'all the Patreon level game. So I'm going to do it a little bit. I'm going to pare it down, way down, just to keep it from a C student's perspective. We're not going Patreon level. The best thing that y'all can do, honestly, and this is in my opinion, is to invest in yourself. And when I say invest in yourself, I'm not talking about going to buy stocks. I'm not talking about going out there and putting a whole bunch of money inside of the market. Yes, I do think that everybody should have a brokerage account instead of a savings account. And that goes without saying. But I think that the thing that y'all need to do is y'all need to get into better careers. For a lot of y'all jobs, y'all have, and you need to go and talk to your HR department, they have tuition reimbursement and assistance. They have tuition reimbursement and assistance. The first thing that I did when I started working at the plant, when I started working at the steel mill, is I took advantage of the thing that most people that work in a steel mill was not taking advantage of, and it was the tuition reimbursement and assistance. And so you can register with your local community college to go into the classes that you want, but you have to have a long-term vision for your life. And when I say investing in yourself, look, you can work as hard as you want, and you can start a business, and I think that people should start businesses, and it's ways and things and reasons why you should start businesses. So don't just run out and get an LLC just for the sake of getting an LLC and then go and apply for Navy Federal. That's not what I'm telling you. What I am telling you is when you reinvest into yourself, right? Meaning that ultimately you pour money into yourself so that you'll have a better career, which then gives you higher earnings longer term. That is the thing that is going to benefit you the most. Most people will sit here and say, oh man, I don't need college and all of this. I got a decent job. I work at the post office. Well, what is the vision that you have for your life? What do you want? And I ask people all the time, and this is the hardest question. Of all of the questions that I ask people when they ask for coaching calls and stuff, because the first call that I talk to somebody, it's an opportunity for me to learn as much as I possibly can about you, because everybody got different goals. Everybody got different things that they're trying to accomplish in their life. They have a different vision for their life. Some want kids, some don't want kids. Some want a wife, some don't want a wife. Some want a husband, some don't want a husband. Some people want to live overseas, some people don't. Some people want to drive exotic cars, some people don't. Some people want to drive a tractor. Some people want to live in a city. Some people want to live in a rural area away from everybody. Everybody got different goals, so there is no one-size-fits-all solution. There's a baseline for how it is that you go about handling business, but there is no one-size-fits-all solution to what success is supposed to be. So the first thing that I ask people is, what do you want for your life? What do you want your life to look like? And a lot of us have been beaten down so much that we don't even dream anymore. We don't even believe that it's possible. You would not believe the amount of people that sit here and tell me, Anton, it's impossible. Everybody can't be rich. I didn't ask everybody. This is not a poll. I'm not trying to figure out who we voting for president. I'm asking you, what do you want for your life? When you was coming up, when you was younger, what poster did you have on your wall? What place do you want to visit? Do you want to go over to Tokyo like I did? Because that was one of my that was the top of the things. I want to go and see the pyramids. I want to go and see Egypt, and I want to go to Rome and look at the Colosseum and all of this stuff, right? I have a vision for my life. I want to spend my winters in warm climates. I need to make sure that my daughter has money to be able to go to any school that she want to go to, no matter what school it is in the United States of America. Even though I'm going to encourage her to go to an in-state institution, I want to have a cushion just in case. I want to have these cars that's available for my wife and my family and my people. And I want to be able to grow these businesses to make all of the people that work for me millionaires. And I want to create this platform, and I want to have an office here, and I want to go and visit there. And then I want to have a budget to be able to spend, $20,000 a month on clothes. And I'm not telling you that your vision have to be my vision, but I'm just naming it off just in general. I want a whole new wardrobe of this, and I want this, and I want that. And then my stuff is going to evolve and it's going to change. And I tell people to write this stuff down, because what happens is, when you then put it in perspective and you make it real and you make it clear, it starts to paint a picture of exactly how it is that you want your life to look. It starts to give a financial number and a thing, because then you're able to say, okay, well, it's going to take me this if I want to get here by this time. And then we can reverse engineer it. We can then say, okay, well, if this is the number that you want to be at, then you can make these sacrifices now in order to get there. And this is the milestone that you need to hit by this time. And this is the milestone that you need to hit at this time. Okay, what do we need to do in order to hit that milestone? What do you love? Okay, let's break that down. So we go through the process It's a process. It's not just financial literacy. It's not just trying to get rich quick. It's not just trying to make sure that you invest all your money into the stock market or real estate. That ain't it. That ain't it. Stop letting these people and these gurus sell you on a vision that's for your life that's not for your life. You're going to hate it there. You're going to hate it there. And you're going to hate it even worse when you realize that you didn't even get the results that you wanted. You're going to hate it more. Absolutely, positively going to hate it more. Right? So the best thing that you can do is to invest in you. You need to get a career. You need to maybe start a business. And that business may not be profitable for the next 5 to 10 years, but ultimately you're pouring into it for it to become something that's greater 10 years from now. You may not be able to graduate within the first 3 to 4 years. You may take you 5 years to graduate from college, but you working on that while you're also going to work every single day. And so in your spare time, maybe you don't want to go to school full time. Maybe you can go to school part-time for this career that you want that's ultimately going to leapfrog you into the places that you're supposed to be because you're not supposed to be at the post office for the rest of your life. It's cool to lower your cost of living when you're in your 20s and your 30s. By the time you get 40, you might want to spread out and start spending some money and having some good times and going out, not having to worry about what the cost is and be able to tip bigger. You're not always supposed to be poor for your whole life. You're not always supposed to just be in the middle. Oh man, I'm surviving. When you get past the point in your life, and let me go ahead and remove this. Shout out to her. Again, go and check out her channel. Her name is Sheba Curls or whatever. You may get to a point in your life to where you eventually just want to grow. And the best thing that you can do is firstly, invest in yourself. When you start to have more capital, and then you have more capacity to be able to do bigger things. Also, at the same time, making sure that you limit the amount of money that you're spending on things that don't even add value into your life that will help you to be able to make better decisions financially. Becoming financially literate and pouring into yourself is the first things that you need to do. And then limit the amount of debt that you have. That's a self-inflicted wound that basically prevents you from being able to invest in yourself. Because then when you got a bunch of debt, you got to do a bunch of stuff that you don't want to do. And then it holds off your dreams. Let me say this. I'm going to read the super chat shortly, but let me just say this really quickly. I need y'all to understand that whether we talking about financially, whether we talking about in the election, or whether we talking about in your own personal everyday life, nobody is going to save you. And that's not even entirely true. What I'm saying to you is not entirely true. Nobody is going to save you, but I'm telling you a white lie. You know why I'm telling you a white lie? Do you know what a white lie is? A white lie is when you tell a half truth and you omit the other part that people don't want to hear that'll actually make it completely true. It's almost like playing a poker game. If somebody say, do you got me? Do you got this hand? And you say, I got you. And you believe that you got them, but you don't have that hand because you want them to think something differently so that when you play in the next hand, ultimately you fooling them because poker is just as much of a mind game as it is the physical cards that you dealt. It's your tells. It's the things that you do on a regular basis. You may be pretending like you tough, but at the same time, you sweating and your heart is pounding out of your chest. Nobody is coming to save you, meaning that it's a possibility that somebody can give you a leg up. They can give you an opportunity. They may save you from yourself. They may bail you out of jail. They may give you a couple dollars. They may look out for you or whatever. But you have to approach life under the guise that I'm in this by myself. And if somebody look out for me or if I get a leg up or if I get a better opportunity, cool, but I'm going to have to save myself. If you're waiting on this election to determine whether or not you're going to be successful or you're going to be safe, and to think that these people is going to ultimately save you from inflation or save you from being able to or going into van life and being homeless and having to go into Walmart in order to brush your teeth or going into Planet Fitness in order to take a shower. Nobody is coming to save you. Men have largely understood this since the beginning of time, but women is just now getting a taste of it. And I know y'all mobilizing for Kamala Harris. Cool. Vote for whoever it is you want to vote for whatever stupid reason you want to vote for it. But I want you to understand that if the Biden administration has taught you anything about life, is that you can believe in who you want to believe in, but ultimately it's going to be you that make the decision for whether or not you want to pull yourself out of your circumstances. And that's for everything. It goes for your relationships. It goes for your finances. It goes for everything. Nobody is going to pull you to church and make you confess and give your life over to God, you're going to have to make that decision within yourself. The church, the building itself is a place for you to congregate. The church is the group of people that then come together. Ultimately, salvation is individual. So you can be around a bunch of people and you can still bust hell wide open at the end of the day, because I know plenty of people that went to church and when they left, they went and did a bunch of stuff that they wasn't supposed to do when they wasn't supposed to do it. It's a lot of people that go online and they'll sit here and they'll tell you, oh my God, Anton, I can't believe you didn't speak out against this. Does it really matter if I speak out against it or not? Because ultimately what's happening is happening, and that ain't got nothing to do with when you turn this camera off. I can give you the motivation. I can give you the tools that you need. You still got to walk through the door. You still got to implement it. You still got to be very careful with how it is that you manage your budget. You still got to go and work the job. You still got to make the money. I can't make you rich. You make you rich. Even when people come on this platform and they say, Anton, I want to thank you. You saved my life. No, I didn't. You saved your life. You utilize the information that so many other people pass up to ultimately make the best decision for yourself. So you have to approach life as though there is no safety net. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to give you a handout. Nobody is going to give you a leg up. Only thing I ever asked for was an opportunity. That's all I need. Give me the runway. I'm gone. I don't need no cosigns. I don't need no help. You know why I'm going viral over this past weekend based off of the things that I said? Because I've been working at my craft for 10 years. I didn't need nobody to put me on. I don't need, hey man, give me a shout out on your platform. I ain't never asked for nothing. Ain't never asked for nobody to give me a shout. If we collaborate and we just so happen to do things, then we gonna do it. Anybody that never came on my platform, some people will say, well, this person gave you more visibility. No, I paid them for their services. I didn't ask for anything. And I overly treat people well when they come here, and I put them in the best hotels and I give them the best services and I make sure that they're protected and I take care of them and then I treat them like gold, and I also put some money in their pocket. Ain't nobody can say that they're responsible for my success, because I've largely approached this game. And it don't mean that somebody can't give you a leg up. It don't mean that somebody can't give you an opportunity. It don't mean that somebody can't give you a visibility. But what you gonna do with it? What happens once you get the spotlight? Do they then look? Let's say for example, I went viral, right? The same way that I just did over the past weekend, and everybody is reacting to my content. Guess what? When they go to your profiles or they search you out or they go to your channels and stuff, do they even have something that they can subscribe to? Could they then leapfrog to find out more about you once you get the visibility? What they doing? When I talk to people online a lot of times and I say, hey, listen, you ain't even got no social profile. Who are you? When people then discover you, can they go and research you in order to find out more about you and do your social profiles, speak to, or does it set the example or the stage for what you want people to learn about you? When people came to discover me, they said, oh my God, he got a great show. Oh my God, he talk about this. Oh my God, he controversial. Oh man, that dude is entertaining. Because you can have the best product in the world, but if don't nobody know about it, that's the marketing part of it. But you can have a trash product or you can have no visibility. And when people discover you, they don't have anything to go off of and to subscribe to you as a result of. And so what I'm telling you is that every single thing that you do in this lifetime is intentional. Kamala ain't saving you. I think that Trump is the best candidate to be the president of the United States of America, but it's not his job to save you. It's his job to give you the level playing field that allows for Americans to be the best version of themselves, but you still got to walk through the door. Some people will sit there and say, oh man, Trump ain't do nothing for me. What do you want? He set the playing field. He renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement. He set tariffs on China so that you can go to work. So you can go to work at the steel mill and they don't dump a bunch of foreign steel into the country to continue to erode the manufacturing base inside of the United States of America. He didn't tell you that he was going to work the job for you. He said that he was going to save the steel industry in order for you to be able to go and work the job for yourself. College is too expensive. Go to community college. Well, once I graduate from 2 years, do what I did. I decided to life hack. I went to community college. I moved back into my mother's basement. Once I went, 2 years of community college, I went and got a job at a major university that then paid 100% of my tuition when I went to, regular universities. And then I was still working my ass off and working my businesses and also had a second job on the side. I didn't wait for nobody to give it to me. I wasn't looking for anybody to do anything for me. I worked my ass off every single day, every day. When we went to the meetup over there in Houston, They said, Anton, you coming to the after spot? I said, think about it. Everybody knew. Every single person that interacted with me when I said I'm going home, I've been here for 3-4 hours, kissing hands, shaking babies. I love y'all. And I had a phenomenal time. Guess what? At the end of the day, I know everybody had the drinks flowing and hey, Anton, can I buy you a drink? Yeah, buy me a Diet Coke. Buy me a Coke Zero. I got you. If you pay attention to my habits, if you're interacting with me in real life, I'm clear. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I drink occasionally. I drink occasionally when I'm at the crib by myself or, when I'm having a little party when I ain't got to drive or something like that. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't embarrass myself in public. I'm very intentional with my security. He around. He paying attention to me. You going to the after hour spot? Now, if you was really paying attention to me, then you will realize that I dropped the video at 2 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, 3 a.m. I dropped another video. I was at home working. I knew that I had to catch a plane ride and I had to go and take care of some business on Sunday. As soon as I landed Sunday, when I got back to Detroit, I had to go and do some meetings and then take care of some other business. But guess what? I didn't miss. I never missed. I never missed one drop. The same thing that y'all was scheduled to see is exactly what you got. It was not a surprise. I don't miss when it comes to the Millionaire Morning Show. It don't matter where I'm at. I always am on 100% of the time. It don't matter if the people and my employees or whoever it is working for me, they can call off. Oh man, I got to go on vacation. Okay, cool. Guess what? We're going to have some replacement that come in order to make sure that things are taken care of until you come back. It's a eat what you kill society. And the minute that you start to take that approach to it, then you'll be incredibly successful. Nobody is coming to save you. You're going to have to take the mentality and take that whole mindset into every single thing in life. They're not going to save you on a political front. Your job is not going to save you. If you're not looking forward to getting laid off, if you're not preparing yourself to ultimately get laid off at some point, even if you never get laid off, if you're not in a position to where you can sustain yourself, if anything was to ever happen to you, then you messed up. You jammed. You messed up. And so what I try to teach y'all through a lot of these conversations that we have on all of these platforms, and what I ultimately talk about inside of the Patreon, and I use my own life as an example. Some people get bothered by it. Some people get jealous. They said, oh man, he always stunting. He always stunting. You still got to go home by yourself. You're not using it as motivation. I'm from Detroit. 20214 Green Lawn between Norfolk and Chippewa. Between 7 and 8 Mile. Livernois and Wyoming. Born and raised. Blackest city largely considered in the United States of America for decades. Auto industry. Worst hit city that was hit the most from the 2008 crisis. Had a daughter in 2008, February 2008, moved back into my mother's basement, ultimately got all of my cars repossessed, lost my job, everything was in shambles, and I had a relatively new wife. It was all on me. I talked to my father. He said, it's all on you. It's all on you. And at that point in my life, I made up in my mind when I held my daughter inside of the hospital room, I was the first person to hold her. I told myself, my daughter will never, ever not have the opportunities because of a lack of discipline and dedication from her father. Never. She has never known. She has failed in a controlled environment because I still wanted her to learn the lessons, but she will never know some of the stuff that we grew up to experience because that's not what she was supposed to experience. She ain't supposed to have PTSD. She ain't supposed to have pit bulls chasing her home from school. She ain't supposed to be walking past crack houses and dudes saying, ooh, what's up, baby girl? If your children is then going to be dependent on the white man, as y'all like to call them, the federal government, in order to be able to pay for their student loans or to forgive their student loans, you are failing as a parent. And maybe you're not failing as a parent. It's another white lie. But ultimately, you have to take the approach that, man, if I don't have my kids straight, if I'm not putting them in the best position possible, then I'm failing as a parent. It gives you a different mentality when you approach things with more seriousness. You're not just willy-nilly. You're not just wheeling it. When you walk past me and I'm sitting in first class, oh man, don't feel like he's stunting on me. I paid the cost to be the boss. I paid the cost to be the boss. In real life, they want to sit there and they'll try to discount you and they'll say, oh man, he must have got an inheritance. I have never gotten inheritance in my entire life. And I put that on my daughter's life. I put that on my father's grave. I put that on my marriage. Ain't never got an insurance payout. If it's so much, then how come my mama didn't get it? She was his widow. How come my mama didn't get the payout? How come my brothers didn't get the pay? Why did it only come to Anton? Why am I the only person that's rolling around with Porsche 911s, with Rolexes on my wrist, with Omegas, stuff that costs more than whatever it is that you got in your whole arsenal that you don't even know, and it's got a rubber band on it? How come nobody else got it? On everything, and I only say this not to prove nothing to anybody, but to help you to understand, and I want to remove all of the excuses from your life. I want to remove every single excuse from your life. I want you to understand that this studio that I'm in right now, this whole setup, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, I invested in myself. I never took out a loan in order to build the restaurant. I put $114,000 of my own money into it. Whether you agree with me closing it or not, it was my money. I put my own money up. Nobody gave me that money. I work my ass off 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They know this. But they want to try to discount it because they want to they want to give themselves an excuse as to why they aren't what they are. And what I'm telling you is to remove the excuses. I am the very definition, the very much of a reflection of what it is that you need to lean off of. And if I'm a C student, a black man that they say, you can't win unless you black in America, with no criminal record, C student, born in Detroit, Michigan, went through the recession, lost everything, worked to get myself back together, dedicated myself to my craft, mastered it, and now I use my own life as an example instead of using examples out in the street as to how it is that you can be successful. What more do you want? Married for 20 years, no children out of wedlock, no scandals, nobody that can come back and say that I owe them $1. No woman that can come out and say that I didn't did anything to them. You have no excuse. You don't need to even lean on Jesus. They say Jesus is the only perfect person. Ain't nobody asking you to be perfect. I'm telling you to take ownership and responsibility of your life. You are the sum total of your own decisions and the people that you hang around. Remove all excuses. There's no excuse. And the reason that I feel comfortable telling you this, the reason why they so bothered when I had these conversations with y'all online, and I say, hey, listen, I can hold you accountable from a relationship perspective because I am a reflection of the thing that I'm advocating for. No excuses. You have to approach life. Approach life like this is your last chance. You only get one. You only get one. There is nobody coming to save you. It's over. It's over. For a lot of y'all, this is the only opportunity that you can get. You already at a certain age to where you have no more mistakes that you can make. No more intentional shots in your leg. No more fumbling the bag. No more just smoking randomly. No more just getting arrested. I was talking to my dog, Hemp. And Hemp was telling me about some stuff that he was working on. And I said, I'm going to show up on This Is Risky. I got you, bro. And he came to the meetup and we was talking. And it was somebody that had threatened me a while ago. It was like a year and a half ago, and he was threatening me. Oh, man, I'll pull up on you in your own city, whatever, so on and so forth, right? And I said, okay, cool. And of course, I'm not going to let nobody pull up on me because I'm not even going to be available for you. I'm going to be out spending a whole bunch of money and hanging out with the ladies, right? Or with my bag chasers. And him said, man, don't you know that this guy went to jail again? There's going to be some people around you that want to pull you down. And they're going to threaten you and they're going to say that you ain't no real one if you don't meet up with them in person. These are demons and the devil trying to throw obstacles in your way because he see where you're going. And the minute that you recognize that you're special because you are, and you made yourself special by the actions that you've taken, don't let nobody take it away from you. Run up that check, run up that bag, and align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right? I don't want to hear no more excuses from nobody. It's Monday. You have every opportunity to run it up, take care of business. A lot of y'all at work right now, you slacking. Everything that you do, somebody is looking at you and saying, oh, man, okay, he just going to do the minimum possible. You a minimum possible ass motherfucker. Wake up, go and take care of business. Stop waiting on some politician to save you from yourself. The only thing that they're going to do is they're going to run up their own bag, get their own book sales up, and they're going to leverage their own power in order to be successful. Nobody is coming to save you but you. Save yourself. Save yourself. Save yourself. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.